Bet you can't guess what I was referencing in this video. Yeah, I don't know, unless you're one of those select few that like never played the games that I was referencing, well, that is based off what I'm referencing, then, you know, I guess it, then, you know, I'll let you figure out. Heck, I might even, since I put like the music tracks in the description for the most part, you know, you'll figure it out, but maybe you guys will figure it out. But anyways, yes, from the title and the intro, which has a little versus thing at the end, I mean, I wanted to do that for all the decks, like all my favorite decks that I play a lot, like Mermaid, Madolche, Gusto, etc. The decks I really love to play. I'm planning, I already have one made for Madolche too, so look forward to that when I do a Madolche DN video again. Yeah, for today though, I'm going to talk about the Phantom Beastcrafts. And yes, this is Phantom Beastcrafts against Nimble Xyz. You know, the deck that, I don't know if you guys know about them, but in Abyss Rising, the Nimble archetype, well, I guess if you want to really call it an archetype because there's several of them, I guess, they got a new monster, Nimble Angler. And with Nimble Angler, yeah, there's a couple of things, there's a pretty cool stuff you can do with them now, and there's some pretty nice plays. But it does count on Nimble Angler and Lemuria, the Forgotten Cities, but we'll get to that when we get to that part. But for now, we're going to talk about the Phantom Beastcrafts themselves. I did talk about them briefly in my last video, but I didn't go into really extensive detail, and there was one that I kind of forgot to mention in the video. And I guess we'll talk about the archetype right now. So first one we're going to talk about is Phantom Beastcraft Mega Raptor. Mega Raptor is practically your Stratos, your searcher, if you will. He gets the combo pieces you need to your hand when you need it, you know, stuff like that. And when a token gets summoned to your side of the field, he generates a token himself. Yeah, and that's basically the whole niche of this archetype. They use tokens. The tokens are used to either power up the monsters, or it keeps them safe from being destroyed, and other things like that. And each of them has different ways of summoning a token. In the case of Mega Raptor, he generates a token whenever a token gets special summoned. So whether you're using like Scapegoat or, well, actually no, because with Scapegoats you can't summon other monsters. Let's say you use one of the other Phantom Beastcraft monsters to generate a token. Then your Mega Raptor generates a token. So basically you're gonna get tokens off of every time you summon one off your monsters or your spells and traps, stuff like that. And then they got a few spells and traps that, you know, coincide with the whole token thing. But yeah, Mega Raptor is also 1900 attack, so he's pretty big. So you can run into Thunder King if you have a token out, and you can just point for point and not die, which is pretty good. Then next we have Phantom Beastcraft Tetherwolf. I like the name Tetherwolf a lot, but anyways, basically he's 1700, he's pretty decent, but when he's normal summoned, he generates a token. And then when he battles a monster once per damage step, you can pretty much sack a token and give him 800 attack, so it becomes 2500. So he can pretty much take on any monster that's 2500 attack points or less. You know, 2500 being that he can point for point. Now, if you have a token out, besides the one that you're sacrificing for his ability, he's not destroyed. You can pretty much point for point with like anything that's 2500 attack and not be destroyed. So that's not bad at all, actually. And what's nice about him is that, I mean, I kind of think that he's just decent in general. I mean, I almost think you could splash him in a deck because he doesn't specifically need other Phantom Beastcrafts to do anything. I mean, you just summon him, you get the token, and then you can just have him be a 2500 beater for a turn, which could help when it comes to dealing with problematic monsters. So, you know, just stuff like that. Next, Phantom Beastcraft Hamstrato. Hamstrato is pretty cool. I mean, he's a bit more one of the slower defensive ones, but that's fine because sometimes you might want to start with this guy. He helps you get your plays going. When he's flipped face up, like while he's set, you summon 2 Phantom Beast Plane tokens. And you could sack a token to bring back a Phantom Beastcraft monster from your graveyard. So he's pretty much like a Monster Reborn or Call the Haunted for Phantom Beastcrafts in your graveyard. And that's pretty cool. Now, one thing I'm going to note out with this is that with the tokens on the field, each of the Phantom Beastcraft monsters gain levels. Now, the level increase is based on the total levels of all Phantom Beastcraft craft tokens you have on the field. So let's say there's one on the field. In the case I have Mega Raptor, he's level 7 because I have one token that's level 3. So 4 plus 3 is 7. If you didn't know that, I feel sorry for you. You take some math classes or whatever. But yeah, that's basically, you can go for like higher rank Xyz, like 6, 7, 9, 10. You can make freaking Gustav, as I had shown in here, by using 2 level 4s that got bumped up to 10 because of the 2 tokens I had on the field earlier on. But yeah, right here was really crazy because he made Gustav max, the turn after I made mine, but he also made Volcasaurus and Agachi. So yeah, what he has going for this deck, what I've seen him do with this, it looks phenomenal. I think this is definitely how I feel like, yeah, this is definitely Nimble Xyz, like at their finest, like at their best, if you will. I don't know if it's like at the very best, but it's definitely something amazing. Like I could definitely see this being, I don't know, maybe in the future if someone makes I don't know, it's definitely a lot of fun. I think both decks are very fun, but I don't know if like both are like YCS or regional worthy or something like that, but I don't know. But they're a lot of fun. But yeah, he makes freaking Volcasaurus, blows up my Gustav max, and here I have to figure out how to get rid of his Gustav max and not die to Volcasaurus. That doesn't sound easy to do, and trust me, I had to think this one out for a while, and that's kind of why the part of the game took so long. Me and my opponent, sometimes we were just thinking a lot about what to do, because we in this case, he was kind of fearing my face downs. Like he kind of hasn't been, he hasn't really attacked because, my face downs could be something deadly that could really ruin him. And then, I have to get rid of his big monsters that he's been summoning because of the field spell and Nimble Angler. Now the field spell is kind of cool because, like, when you have water monsters on the field, like, you can have all of your water monsters face up on the field gain levels. Now the level increase is based on how many waters you have on the field. So if you have 3 water monsters, they each gain 3 levels. Now this works great with decks that have, same levels, like Nimbles. They're all level 2. And since you can kind of manipulate how many you want to have on the field, you could pretty much make them all like, you can make them all like level 5, level 6, 7, I don't know, whichever the highest you can go. I think 7 is the highest you can go. Because if you have 5 water monsters, say if you have 5 level 2 water monsters, and then you have use the effect, they all gain 5 levels. Actually, you can go for Gustav if you have 5 level 2 water monsters on the field, and you make them all level 10 because of the effect, because they all gain 5 levels. No, not Gustav. You can go for 7. That's the highest you can go, not 10. What am I thinking? I was thinking almost like, well, if you had like 5 level 5 monsters, yeah, you could go for Gustav, but damn, that'd be kind of insane. I'd love to see that, but anyways, that's not the point. There, I blow up the Gustav max with Draco Sack by sacking one of my Phantom Beast Plane tokens, and then I ram Gaia Knight into the Volcasaurus so that I wouldn't die, because Draco Sack can't be destroyed by card effects while he has a token. Since they all have this effect, that actually helps me. So anyways, let's get back to talking about the other monsters. Ray Stealth. Ray Stealth is pretty cool. He's not like my absolute favorite, but he's pretty useful sometimes. He's a level 3 2100 defensive one, so like Hamster, he's very defensive. But what's nice about him is that when he does damage, you summon a token. Sure, he has only 100 attack, but sometimes a lot of the damage comes from your opponent attacking it while face down. And a lot of the monsters' first turn don't have enough attack to run him over, so if they go Thunder King attacking to your face down, Ray Stealth, you can pretty much just reflect it, bounce off their attack, inflict damage, and summon a token. And if they want to set any cards face down, I'll be like, be my guest. I'll blow one of them up. I don't know which one I'm going to hit, but I'm going to blow one of them up. Or what's even better is that if I summon something like Mega Raptor, I can just go run into Thunder King, not lose my monster because he can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, so I can point for point without dying. And main phase 2, I can either blow up a set card or I can just search. So you have plenty of options with this deck, but the tokens are absolutely vital to this deck, to the point where some of the cards I would be running in the deck, I'm not running because the tokens are more valuable than anything else for this archetype. It's kind of like with Madolche, how they need their spells and traps to function. It's kind of like that. They need, in this case, they need the tokens. Now, what's pretty cool about this archetype also is that since you can go for stuff like Gustav Max, you can go for Big Eye, it does let you get out of some tight spots sometimes. And you know, sometimes it just really helps to get past big monsters, and sometimes burning them for game even. I've done it a lot. But yeah, race stealth does help there because, I mean, if you just get being able to blow up the back row so that your other monsters can go in and attack. Especially since the next one we're going to talk about is the one I did forget to kind of name in the other video, Black Falcon. Now, Black Falcon's kind of cool, not because of his artwork, because he's a falcon, he's like a bird and stuff like that, but his effect is like when he attacks, he generates a token. It's pretty simple, right? But his other effect is what makes him MVP of many games, if you will, besides, you know, the actual Xyz monster and stuff like that. But basically, during either player's turn, you can tribute a token and put one of your monsters on the field to defense position, to face up defense. So basically, if they want to go and attack, you could sack a token, put them in defense. And that's actually pretty good too. So in this case, I go use the effect before this Deep Sea King Quellicant could summon a fish from his deck, because like basically I had to do it before he summoned out all of his fish monsters, because basically he could sack a fish monster to negate a card effect that would target him, and destroy it. So I had to do it before he summons the monster, so I could put him in defense and run it over next turn if I could. Because, I mean, with Lemuria, he's way too strong. He's like pretty much a 3k beater, because the field spell gives every water monster 200 attack, which helps sometimes. So yeah, right here he makes a Big Eye, and he pretty much goes and he's pretty much gonna go and take he's gonna use Deep Sweeper's effect to blow up my set card, which I chain Aerial Charge. I guess I'll talk about Aerial Charge really quick. It's a continuous strat that lets you generate a token once per turn. So you can do it on your turn, and your opponent's turn. But during the end phase of both your turn and your opponent's turn, you have to send a Phantom Beastcraft to the graveyard, or a token, or else it has to go to the graveyard. And, you know, it was gonna get destroyed anyway, so I just chained it so I get a free token. But he uses the Big Eye to pretty much take my Dracosack, which sucks, but it happens. But I was like, okay, I have Wabaku face down, so if he wants to attack me, I could play Wabaku and keep my stuff from getting destroyed in battle. And of course, I wouldn't take damage either. And that's something I couldn't afford to take too much more damage, because I got burned for like 2,000, and I got burned for 3,000 because of Volcasaurus. And yeah, that's why Volcasaurus is such a bastard, because you can just do all that massive damage, and that can end games too. Especially if you use Gaia Dragon. Oh my goodness. Gaia Dragon would just destroy after that. So right here, like, since I used Maxi, I drew a few cards off of, you know, him summoning monsters with Quellicant, Xyz summoning, etc. Now right here, since he has Big Eye and my own Dracosack, I had to get past everything, and yeah, it got pretty insane. So what I did here is, well, I had the Reborn, so what I did is I pretty much went for the Reborn, brought back my Mega Raptor, and then I would sack a token to search for Tetherwolf, since I didn't have one in my hand yet, which I could probably use later on. But here I go for a rank 7 play. I go for my own Big Eye, and this is probably one of my favorite things ever. I use my Big Eye to take his Big Eye, and then I use his Big Eye to take back my Dracosack. So I pretty much got everything back, plus I got his own Big Eye. So it was kind of funny, I'll admit. So then I go normal summon Gores by tributing his Big Eye and the token. So that was pretty funny, I'll have to admit. So yeah, pretty much from here I have him on the ropes, because now I've got control of the game. And then I know I don't have game if I attack with Dracosack. So basically, I use my Aerial Charge trap card, I think, in my main phase 2, just to generate a token that I can sacrifice to blow up the field spell. So yeah, Dracosack's pretty cool, because I mean, you could tribute a Phantom Beast Plane monster, and I think you could tribute a token to pretty much blow up any card of the field, but he cannot attack. So you can't attack, then use his effect. That's why I didn't attack with him, because I knew it wasn't game anyways. So yeah, that's just something that you have to keep in mind. Like, if you don't have game but you want to just blow something up real quick, you know, there's nothing wrong with doing that. So yeah, basically I have full control of the board. If he wants to make a gotchi using like Dewfrog or freaking Rolling Totem, then that's fine, because I could take that too. Or if he wants to make Dark Mist, that's fine too, because I can use Waboku and keep my monsters from being destroyed, then just use Big Eye next turn. So yeah, pretty sick. And that was quite a mouthful to say, I'll bet, but this was one game that I was so proud of taking a part of, because like it's almost like this duel was, you know, it was able to just display the full extent of both of our decks, what they kind of, how they operate at full steam, if you will. And yeah, this is all game 3. I'm not gonna lie, guys, all game 3. This video, the live video was like over an hour long. I don't remember exactly how long, but it was like maybe an hour and a half or something like that. It was pretty long. Like games 1, 2, and 3. Game 3 took like an hour or something. So yeah, the other games were very short. I mean, game 1, I got my shit going, he had nothing, and game 2, he got his shit going and I got nothing. And game 3 was where things really got crazy. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that, because I don't know, maybe you guys would think that it's an interesting matchup, I guess. And I mean, and they're two decks that you probably would never think would go against each other. I mean, Plains against Fish, yeah, I know that's kind of weird, but hey, it makes for an interesting battle. And you know, there should be more of these to come and stuff like that. But yeah, if you like this video, you know, share it with your friends. You know, let me know what you guys think about the archetypes and the duel. I mean, like, let me know. Like, I probably misplayed here and there, you know, maybe my opponent did, but you know, we had lots of fun, and in the end, that's what matters. I mean, you can have a competitive mindset, but you can have loads of fun too. And I feel like that's key too, because you definitely should have fun with the game, even though you play competitive. So yeah, guess I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out, guys. And one last thing, all Beastcrafts report.